broadcast first as usual. Then section, Gary, if you want to kick us off.
Well, 3 out of 4 must be a good mood in the training ground.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it's a good mood. Yeah, we're getting points. We are climbing on the table and we are playing good. So, of course, the mood is very good in a camp.
Are there any new injury concerns?
Yeah, we have a few players who didn't train this week, and so we see some of them ain't gonna train even today. So we're gonna see tomorrow. It is Kuyate, Carroll, and Cresswell. They didn't train, and Kuyate is gonna train today. Try and with Cresswell, and then we're gonna see tomorrow. So it's not ideal.
The name that stands out for your supporters in particular, given that he's been in goal scoring before.
Yeah, he's really in a good form, and he's been great for us. As I said, he felt a little bit of a groin in a game, and we didn't want to risk. We didn't want to take any risk with him. And then we're going to see tomorrow. Is he going to be available for Saturday?
Are you a betting man? Would you put a percentage likelihood or not?
Yeah, but there's what I mean. As I said, it's not something major, no, because if it was bigger, then it would rule him out from tomorrow's game. But it's still very open. It's nothing big, so it's basically very similar to the one that he felt against Middlesbrough, and he played after that. So, as I said, but there's no point talking about percentage. Hopefully he'll train tomorrow. Hopefully he's going to be okay, and then we're going to decide for Saturday.
I noticed on your website, your head of medical science, there's it's a fine balance with Andy, just to work hard all the time to prepare him. How he trains and whether he plays is always a difficult assessment.
Yeah, it is, but to be fair, this is the only week that he didn't train with us. Basically, since he came back from the injury, that ruled him out for a long time. Let's say he trained basically 80-90% of the sessions of the time he trained with us, and for me that is the key. Of course, you're always going to have a balance. You have to find a balance for every player, especially for him that had a history of injuries. But the players have to train to maintain fit, and the players have to train to prevent injuries.
Is it always better, though, in Andy's case, for you to err on the side of caution?
Sorry?
Is it always better in Andy's case?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially short term. You know, if the player is in a if the player is match fit, and he trained for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and playing 3 or 4 games, there's no, and he feels something that there's no harm if he rests even the whole week. You know, and with Andy that is the case, but you can't walk on eggs. You know what I mean? If you're walking on eggs, and if you are letting the player only play games, I know that you have some examples for the players. Of the players who didn't train at all for a couple of years and played every game and played brilliantly, like, I don't know, Ledley King, for example. Yeah, but they are one-offs, you know, and basically they were forced not to train. I'm sure that Ledley King would rather train than not, but the players need to train to prevent injuries.
Finally on this, Andy's again quite rightly been linked with an England call-up.
Yeah.
Given the situation, would you rather that didn't happen?
Why?
Because of this balancing act that you have about him playing.
No, I mean, it's always good for us. It's always good for the player to be linked up, because that is the biggest proof that he's in a good form, and that especially when it's happening to mature players like Andy, he would take that only as another boost of confidence.
Have you spoken to Gareth Southgate about it?
No, not now. We spoke last year when he was under 21. He was in our camp at Chadwell Heath, but no, I didn't speak to him about Andy. since he took over.
West Brom, about with you in the kind of top half of the second table.
They are doing great. You know, they are. The whole season has been quite amazing for their standards. They are. I mean, even the games they lost, and there were few of them. They lost like against Chelsea one. It was very difficult game, hard one even for Chelsea. So they are very hard to beat. They're always dangerous. They're very compact. They're a very organized team, like we knew with Tony Pulis. That's what you get with him, and they have a great balance in the team, with experience, with organization, but also with stamina of the players and with individual qualities of the players up front, who are very physically strong, also very pacey, very good in transition. Of course, great on set pieces also. So very versatile also.
Everyone talks still about 40 points. You're 3 wins away from 40 points. Is that still your target?
It is a first target. We have few targets, of course, not only us. I think the majority of the teams are like that. You have few targets, but there's no point to talk about other targets, number 2 or number 3 or whatever, before you reach your first target, and first target is 40 points. And we have a hell of a lot to do to reach it.
And I understand you've got plans to go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Why?
Look, it's very common here. I went there, not there, but when I was playing, and a lot of teams are doing that in a kind of a, when they have time. Since I'm here, we didn't go anywhere. Last year we couldn't go because of the FA Cup that we have, and that we progressed till quarterfinals. Now we have this little bit of a gap, like we have 2 weeks in between our games, and we're gonna go there. But so there are a few reasons. Okay, we have a gap. We didn't go anywhere. It's nice weather there, and the players will have some free time, of course, to clean their heads and to charge the batteries psychologically for the remainder of the season. But first of all, we are going there to train, and we're going to do some 4 very important sessions for us.
If the team wasn't winning the game, would you still go to Dubai?
You are reflecting Palace. Yeah, I know. Well, it's a dodgy question, you know. Sometimes you have to think about the bigger picture, how the people, especially nowadays in the media, how they would, the fans and everybody would react on that. But as I said, and I'm sure that is also in Palace, that was in Sam's plans, we're going to train more in Dubai than we would train here. And that, in our case, is definitely the case. So it's not a question where you are going, but what you're going to do there when you come there. And we're going to train, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you put West Ham's upturn in fortunes to? You've won 5 out of your last 8 now. It's top 6 form. Obviously, Andy Carroll is a key part of that. But what else do you put your upturn in form down to?
I mean, it's not just Andy. I mean, it's many things. Few players who were injured in the beginning of the season, they got back. Okay, they came back a couple of months ago, but they also needed a match fitness. They also needed, the team needed, as a team and individually, a bit of a confidence to come back on a winning tracks, and then everything clicked. To be fair, some individual performances, some players that came back from the injuries, some new players that we got in January transfer window, and basically most of all, and more than anything, work rate that we put in every session.
And just another question from me on Andy. Do you accept that he is one of those players that, as gifted as he is on the pitch, comes with certain risks that he has to be wrapped in cotton wool sometimes in terms of the injuries that he is prone to picking up? You just accept that you do have to treat him slightly differently to the rest of the squad?
Slightly differently, but it's more because of his history. To be fair, Andy is in a number of trainings, he's definitely very high up on the list. So this is his first time in last couple of months, basically, that he didn't train the whole week. So he's a very good professional. He's a great trainer. He's looking after his body, and that is the key why he's playing so good now.
Just a final question from me, again about your opponents this weekend. And Tony Pulis, you both share something in common, that in the last transfer window you both had to deal with players who wanted to get away from the club. Dimitri Payet yourself and Saido Berahino with West Brom. Do you sympathise with Tony Pulis with that, having experienced something similar? And do you just think that is something that most modern managers at some point will have to deal with?
But it's very common in all the clubs. It's not just, it didn't happen only to me and to Tony. I mean, you have to deal with it, and the players are moving. You know, the players are moving, and it's about how you balance that books, let's say. And of course, we all want to keep our best players if it's good for the team. When it comes to the situation that is very difficult to have that, then you have to act, and that was what Tony has done, and the majority of the manager has done it, because we all have to deal with that kind of situations.
Cameras off, please.